Hey, what's up, and welcome back for another great Ohio nerd toy hunt, this time at the Chicago Toy Show. This Chicago Toy Show was held at the Kane County Fair Grounds, April 25th, 2021. So we'll start off here looking over everything I brought out to the show. This was my first time setting up at this show, and my second time going to it. It's a really good show. If you are a toy collector and you have not heard about it, this is a show that is crazy. So for this, my friend Toxic Slob Retro and I, we teamed up and split a booth. So right now we're looking at his stuff, what he brought. So if you don't know Toxic Slob, he's in a lot of my videos. We're really good friends. You can go follow him on Instagram at Toxic Slob Retro. Tell him the Ohio Nerd sent you his way. But this show is full of toys. Vintage to modern, Venom's the Black Series, Star Wars, Star Trek, dinosaurs, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Tin Toys, Toy Biz, Marvel, DC, Hasbro, Mattel, LJN, bootlegs. This show is absolutely massive. It features so many different buildings. They have Prairies West, Prairies East, the Atrium, they had Traders North and South, they had the Rabbit Building, the Poultry Building, the Sheep Pavilion, the Swine Pavilion. Absolutely massive. If you were looking for something, it was probably at the Chicago Toy Show, especially when it came to vintage. Now, modern being something that I'm more into, a lot of the modern stuff wasn't quite at this show. This wasn't a show for you die-hard modern fans. They absolutely had great modern items, but as far as being able to find whatever you wanted, whatever you need for your collection, I wouldn't go out and say that this was the show for you. There have definitely been to shows that have better modern, especially when it comes to Star Wars. But for overall selection and variety, this was it. This was the best. Chicago has absolutely crazy selection, absolutely crazy vendors, and absolutely just a good time. An absolute good time. If you like collecting toys, if you're a toy collector, you need to be at this show. This is a show you got to get out to, guys. I mean, this is a staple show. I'd say the Chicago show, the Cincinnati show, the Columbus show, now the Great Ohio Toy Show. Those are all becoming must-do shows for any toy collector. So a lot of people ask me at these shows to show off my hauls, and I'd love to show off my hauls for you guys at every show I do, but it's just crazy to lay out everything, to go through a video with that. Doing some of my hauls for these shows would be just as long as showing you guys the toys, and I'm already flying through here trying to show you guys all the toys, especially for this. This is going to be a 3-part toy hunt, guys. 3 parts for this show. Absolutely bonkers how many toys were at this place. So right now you're watching part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 and part 3 as they come out. If you're watching this as it comes out. If you're in the future, make sure to go ahead at the end of this video and click on part 2. That'll be linked at the end here in the future once part 2 is released. But as far as my hauls goes, 2 pieces that I'll talk about that I picked up at this show. for my personal collection I've really been looking for and looking excited for was I picked up Kiamol from the Droids line, and I picked up Kezaban. So for the Droids and Ewoks are vintage Star Wars toys for people who might not be familiar. Some people count the last 17. Once they get all the figures in the last 17, they say their collection's complete for vintage Star Wars. But guys, the Droids and Ewoks toys are just as vintage Star Wars as the last 17. They're made by Kenner. They came out in 1985. They are absolutely awesome, and they do not get enough love. Great line. So for that line, they're some of the last figures I need. For the regular standard vintage Star Wars collection, I just am down to needing the pop-up Saber R2. I was able to pick up Yak Face at the past Cincinnati Toy Show, which was killer. So now I'm just down to pop-up Saber R2 for that. When it comes to the Droids cartoon line, I need the Droids C-3PO, I need Size From, and Tig From, and then that'll be complete. And then when it comes to the Ewoks line, I'm down to just needing the Ewoks animated style Wicket. And then I will have a complete vintage Star Wars collection, which is something I've been working at for forever. And I mean forever. It's been something that I've really loved doing. Since I started collecting, I got into collecting through vintage Star Wars toys. So my dad grew up in the 70s and 80s, and he played with these toys. And when I was a kid, my dad had kept all of his toys, and he handed those down to me. And that's kind of what got me into collecting. Sharing that experience, playing with those really cool vintage Star Wars toys, and it just spawned into my love of toys that I have today. So getting that line complete will be kind of bittersweet for me, but I'm getting pretty close to it. I probably won't get that completed this year, but next year maybe. Next year after that, probably. Who knows? I mean, the Vlix figure from that line for Droids was released in Brazil. A lot of people don't count that. I'm probably not going to count that as a complete collection just because he's like super duper uber crazy rare. Like the craziest rare vintage piece, I'd say, that is like production. Probably even more than, Vinyl Cape Jawa, which is something else I'd love to add to the collection for variants. But this will be a very bittersweet line to, finish off, because it's been really what got me into toy collecting. But once I got into toy collecting, I love Star Wars. I love modern Star Wars being, something else that I grew up playing with and something else that I really love. But, I also love G.I. Joe. I also love Masters of the Universe. All these other different toy lines, bootlegs. Right here, we're looking at some cool Halloween toys, which is something that my friend Toxic Slav got me into. Like, there's just so many cool toys in this hobby. Toy Biz X-Men, there's so many different cool things that, picking up and appreciating that, it's just been so great about getting into this toy hobby. So if you're new to this, definitely get out there, start collecting what you love. But don't be afraid to, dive into some other lines. Whatever those lines may be that pique your interest, it's such a great hobby. Yeah, there's going to be people out there, who aren't the nicest, who might be naysayers. But this is such a great hobby to get into. Right here we're looking at some amazing, absolutely amazing base set Charizards. I have never seen this many base set Charizards in one place. If you want to collect Pokemon, that's awesome. That's great. Join the toy hobby and collect Pokemon with the trading card hobby. I think that's, a great place where these two hobbies merge. You want to collect video games, that's amazing. Whatever it is that really gets you going, whatever gets you excited, don't be afraid to go out and collect that, guys. That is something that is special. It is so much fun. You're going to be able to go out there, you're going to be able to meet new people, have those conversations, make new friends. Some of the friends I made in this toy collecting hobby are now my absolute best friends for life. These people are amazing. Don't be afraid just because of what you might see sometimes. You might see a Facebook argument or something. You might see some drama. Don't let that discourage you. Find your right group of people. Your vibe will attract your tribe. Go out there, get collecting toys. Find those things that make you happy and dive right into this toy hunting hobby. Get in there with these toy collectors. Get in there and get whatever it is that makes you happy. You want to collect 90s Power of the Force Star Wars? More power to you. You want to get out there and you want to collect, Star Trek toys? I know nothing about Star Trek. But if you want to collect it and it makes you happy, awesome. Go out there, just collect within your means. Don't do anything crazy and, go outside your own means. But, this is such a fun and awesome hobby. So right now in this video, we are at the Chicago Toy Show, but the next toy show I will be at will be the Toyhio Toy Show in Girard, Ohio. Toyhio is held at the Metroplex Expo Center and will be on June 19th. That's Saturday, June 19th, the day before Father's Day. So you can go out and celebrate some great toys and then go and celebrate some great dads. What better way than, go out and get dad a toy, get dad something that he had when he was a kid at Toyhio Toy Show. Toyhio is absolutely killer show also. It's, not a huge show like this, but it absolutely does have great quality toys. There's going to be some celebrity wrestlers there. So if you're into wrestling, definitely go and check that out. I'll have links all about that down in the description of this video. I've also done tons of videos at Toyhio Toy Show, so make sure you check those out, and I'll have a playlist for those linked down in the description. So in this video, I shared a lot of my personal collecting story. I want to know about yours. Let me know in the comment what it is that you collect. Or if you're not collecting yet, let me know what you're interested in collecting. What are those lines, that spark you, give you that, that flame of interest, that joy of happiness? What those are, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.